Wannituck, Indiana, the Marie Jorgenson encounter, 1977, September 14th, 21:30, or 2100 hours approximately. Page 72, report number 168. On that page, supposedly. Now, I'm going to read it verbatim to you. It's in the form of a partial or a fragment of a PDF file that's chopped and re-uploaded everywhere. Doesn't say what the original work was. Oddly enough, most PDF files will have embedded in them what the name of the original document was, but I can't find any copies of it. They have various names. 38-year-old Marie Jorgenson was traveling in her vehicle when she suddenly became very tired and sleepy. She then apparently blacked out. Soon she woke up sitting on what appeared to be some kind of padded chair. A small humanoid with large red, shiny, lizard-like eyes stood in front of her. The humanoid wore gray coveralls and stared at her intently. She blacked out again and found herself back in her vehicle. An exhausted lady was driving, pulled over to sleep, had a bad dream, woke up, and that's the entire report. That's literally it. This is not being a jerk. That's the actual copy of it, and it's the only copy anybody is even citing. Source listing within this, again, it's a PDF file that had an original name. It's some sort of printout, right? And we'll get to what this really is. The source for it is listing it as a copy of something that was grabbed from something that's called Denys Breysse, Project Becassine. It may be listed in some PDF that you look up, if you look it up right, as entry number or file number or report number 168, page 72. The source will be Denys Breysse, Project Becassine, and maybe the number 1181. Okay. Project Becassine, or Becassine, if you translate just the last word in French, is snipe. So Project Snipe, because almost every copy of this is on a French website. Was an unpublished French database and or catalog, or not, compiled from the year 1985 to 1995. But this entry keeps having 1181. I'm not sure. And this was a project by Denys Breysse and Eric Maillot. And it keeps being listed incessantly as being a project in France. So I'm going to call it a French database and a catalog. Now, the reason I'm saying unpublished and French database and catalog is this went from 1985 to 1995. That's a 10-year project. And then in 1995 sometime, it was probably uploaded on the internet in some form. Projects and files and such that are compiled by people will be put into, by that point, some sort of text database. This is a text file. Okay. Each of these entries shows all of the monikers of being 40-column, 80-column converted back and forth on a trash 80 computer or whatever. BBSs existed before the internet. This was a project on some spook website. Okay. And this would be story number 168 of that website's file set. And page 72 is when it was printed out on a bunch of pages because someone took the entire database from wherever they found it and printed it out and then turned it into a PDF file or text files. Now let's look at the embellishment in a YouTube video that I was asked to look into. It's a video that I'll have a link for it. It claims that that report was taken in 1977 by a specific individual, TIMOTHY GREEN BECKLEY. But the video citation says 1981, so this is retroactive of it in 1981. Supposedly before I'm claiming a French database or catalog was compiled for 10 years. So is that the original source of it? If you're not aware of it, people claiming primacy of I'm the one who recorded that first, And even the YouTube video here mentions this was probably a phone interview. Anyway, TIMOTHY GREEN BECKLEY does have Amazon page and website reviews and stuff, and you can find stuff on Amazon. Okay, cool. But anyway, let's go ahead. The video contains an embellished 10-minute walk back to the car at the end of the day, and that's about a half-mile walk according to most standards. The only Indiana town that sounds like Wannituck is actually Wannatuck, and it's 1 mile across max. So that's going from wherever you're working downtown, walking all the way out to, unless you go a very specific direction, you're literally walking outside of city limits to get to your car. Okay, so that's weird. So that's the first inconsistency. And again, the original text is something that literally amounts to, lady in car got tired, pulled over to sleep, had a nightmare, and woke up. It does not mention that it was anything other than that town. But anyway, let's go with it. There's an embellished, now added in 10-minute walk. This is done apparently by Timothy Green Beckley. Next, added in that she was a payroll accountant in Indiana at a model shopping center. Models had 152 stores at one time in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Connecticut, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Where was it in Indiana? Again, I'm not seeing that. And the thing is, I'm using the Model Sporting Goods, that is now the name of the Model Shopping Center. That's a Wikipedia article, obviously could be broken, but again, that's an inconsistency. And again, that's an embellishment apparently only added after Timothy Green Beckley claimed to have done the original interview. There is no reference in the original file of the source being that guy. It's only Denys Breysse's project of retroactively collecting things for a 10-year period of time from 1985 forward of something that happened in 1977. An original documentation of this would be not on a UFO website. This is not a claim of a UFO except for red, shiny, lizard-like eyes. That would actually qualify as a type of encounter. That's not the close encounters of the third kind. This is actually a type of encounter. Not an abduction, but only referencing slightly that a person has a vision of something. There's a subcategory for it. Now, in the YouTube video, they mentioned, well, this sounds like somebody just got something wrong over a phone call. Yes. That's absolutely what I'm thinking, too. That would not just explain the city name change, it would do fine with everything else. However, they're repeating something that's from a person called Timothy Green Beckley claiming this, but they don't give a citation except 1981. Okay, now the Project Snipe, I'm going to call it, could have used his work and republished it. I don't know. But again, the only link I find, is always broken PDFs, etc., except one. I only found, and again, I'm not joking about this, I only found one link that wasn't a broken listing. I'm going to use this one. Here we go. Thinkaboutit.docs.com/1977 September UFO alien sightings. UFO and alien sightings and or sightings that would fall into the category of seeing what looks like an alien under any conditions. These are kind of reaching at straws type, but that's what you use. And it has, I just archived it, archive.is 37YWP. It's the link below in the description. Now, very importantly about this, other than it being a person pulling over to sleep and having a nightmare, what is it? Nothing. Except it's an example of continuing chronic embellishment of stories. The woman had a nightmare about, quote, let's read it back, a small humanoid wearing coveralls, gray coveralls, had large, red, shiny, lizard-like eyes and was staring at her while she was in a padded chair. If you put that into chat GTP or whatever, it might produce inappropriate content that you have to be over 18 to watch. That just sounds like a setup. I'm sorry. That's I've been called to fix your dishwasher. So anyway, my rating for this. The original report, if you just use it, is completely innocuous. The rest of it on top, however, adding in, claiming I'm the one who did the original interview all the way back in 1977, that's a little bit over the top. And then making a claim that there was what the person did for a living and where they worked, and that there was a 10-minute walk, and that the only town that comes close to it is a 10-minute walk going across it just about. I'm going to say that will take the original one at face value. It's a lady who fell asleep after pulling over and had a nightmare. And then the embellishment of the 10-minute walk, the person's employment, how far they walked, picking a business name that probably wouldn't have matched correctly. That's all on Timothy Green Beckley. So, what was the story called? The story is called The Jorgenson Encounter. It's also listing Wannituck, Indiana, and I'm just going to use that as the name. And I'm going to include page 72, report number 168, and the time and date stamp. And maybe I'll give Timothy Green Beckley second string right under the title. Now, why did I bother doing this? Finding the origin story of something, especially if it's a story, shouldn't be complicated because, I don't know if you know this, UFO stories that are published very often will claim artistic licensing kind of thing where they say, no, this is we're going to refer to these as spook stories, even if we believe that they may be real UFOs, we're going to claim a copyright to it. And if any of you have ever filled out a UFO report to any UFO group, it will state in it that the website has permission from you to fictionalize it by literally just publishing it as is, and that way they have copyright control over it. And that was established as an idea a long time ago when people started making books about this sort of thing. People have been making books about these kind of things for a very long time. Okay? Literally, UFO books make a shit ton of money. And people snipe, pun intended, these stories very easily. This is under copyright, and the only way that Timothy Green Beckley could make his own remake of it is to completely refictionalize it, which is what it sounds like. So the YouTubers who did the video, while I think I would like to claim that they're, debunked or whatever, I'm going to state that they published something akin to what I just did now. Kind of a teardown. And they probably took less time than I did. Hope I didn't waste your time. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And the story itself isn't bunk. It's just to interpret it as a UFO story is unnecessary. Someone did the responsible thing, pulled over after a hard day at work someplace and fell asleep, had a nightmare and woke up, and that's it.